I think one of the major differences when it comes to executive protection versus law enforcement or the military is simply the reality that it's all up to you. You don't have a platoon sergeant yelling at you, getting you up in the morning, getting you into formation and making you make moves. You know what I'm saying? You don't have your department forcing you to do quals and requiring you to perform at a certain standard or level. In the private security industry, agents vary. You know, like you might get a guy who's dialed in and the next day you can run into someone who doesn't know anything or was a once upon a time guy, you know what I mean? And I respect everything that everyone's done, but in this industry, you know, this is why I always say, man, it's the habits that we have. It's the constant submitting ourselves to better training and trials and stepping into the crucible of things and a lifestyle that'll make you a better protector consistently, that will make you as advertised, man, as, you know, the person that your principals and clients actually hired you to be. You and I both know that when it goes down, you're probably not going to be with your team. It's going to be just you as a civilian. No legal high ground. It's going to be you as a civilian, and you're going to need to be as advertised, and it's going to be cold and on demand, and you're going to have to perform. You're going to have to protect. And that scenario can come in many different shapes and sizes. It might just be, you know, someone trying to embarrass your principal or your client, but it also might be a coordinated multi-level ambush that you might be looking at. It can happen literally at any minute. We find ourselves in so many different situations, immersed in the crowds, immersed in these huge events, immersed in international travel. You know, one day you're at the supermarket with your principal helping them shop. The next minute you're in a king's palace. The next minute you are on a private jet. The next minute you're backstage, you know, and it can all happen in one trip just like that. But in any one of those environments, you've got to be ready. You can't let the environment change who you are and what you're there to do. You've got to be grounded. You got to be grounded in your disciplines. You got to be grounded in your professionalism. You've got to be grounded in your warrior way of life. And it's something that most of the time, the principals and people around you don't understand, and they'll never understand. And your job is to do so good at protecting that they don't ever feel like they need to understand or try to live that way. Because that's what they hired you for. And that's who you are, or at least it's who you've got to become if you're really going to be a protector. There are many different people that do this job for many different reasons. And to some, it is just for the financial gain. But for those of us who are really good at this, for those of us who really want to operate at the top of the game, and you know who you are and you know when you meet them on details, for those of us who've always been protectors and have the protector DNA, to us, executive protection, private security operations are so much more than just a job. And the reality is, if you just do this job like some kind of 9 to 5, you know, you go to your principal's house, you do the day, you run the itinerary, and you go home, you're not going to be ready. You're not going to be warm. You're not going to be accurate. You're not going to be able to think through the equation. Because the skills that are required to make you effective on the job must be cultivated on your own time. Because when the fighting starts, we all know that you will degrade to your baseline of training, not your highest level of training, your baseline of performance. And so for those of us who take this seriously, for those special elite agents of us, regardless of where you're at in the industry, you know, if I'm talking to you, you're the guy that's always down to train. You're the guy that's trying to be better, trying to be more dangerous so you can bring order to the chaos of violent circumstance. For those of us who are on that path, and for those of us I'm trying to encourage to get on that path and be better, we know the truth. Executive protection and private security operations are more than just a job. If you really want to be an elite protector, this stuff really does require a lifestyle. And with all that having been said, welcome to season 3 of the Executive Protection Lifestyle Podcast. This is Byron Rodgers, protector by nature and by trade. Out.
Boom! Hey, Byron. It's just not a job, what is it?
More than just a job. It's a lifestyle, baby.